Hello guys, back on another topic on horror movies, and today I'm gonna talk about one of the cult favorite movie series, Species. When you talk about birth scene in horror movies, you probably can't escape talking about Species 2. We all know about the scenes and we all love the scenes. So I decided to look through the entire series again, dive deeper on this particular series and see if there's any other interesting scenes to watch, and at the same time look through this entire franchise in general. So I hope this can bring a little bit of a nostalgic factor for all the Species fans out there, and hopefully they will revive this franchise in the future. As kinda expected, Species was actually been conceptualized at the height of the popularity of the Alien series. The first movie was actually released in the 1995, although the writers has actually completed the script on 1987. And one of the most interesting thing about this particular movie is the fact that the creature was actually designed by H.R. Giger, who is actually the same artist who designed the Xenomorph. So of course you can see a little bit of aspects of Xenomorph and the design. If you're talking about Alien series, I think the general theme of the movie is actually space explorations, while Species series, the general theme is actually alien hybrid. And of course you can easily see why this series has been discontinued. It was of course a commercial flop. The first movie was a huge success. With a $30 million, they managed to make more than $100 million in the box office, and they have similarly big budget for the second movie, which is our favorite, Species 2. Sadly, Species 2 was actually a flop. According to the reports that I've gathered, they actually lost money on Species 2. That impacted the entire series greatly. Species 3 has a much more lesser budget as compared to the first two movies, and needless to say, Species 4, The Awakening, had only 1/10 of a budget of the first movie, which is something really sad. I think just like this Alien series, this series has a lot of potentials to be explored. So the first movie is about an alien life form which is trying to procreate. So we see our main character, which is Sil, trying to mate with different guys, which I think is a pretty interesting topic, the fact that she's actually trying to choose the best seed around to get the perfect hybrid. While the second movie, it was actually about a group of astronauts that is being corrupted by alien life form from space. The intro of this particular movie it kind of reminds me a lot on Fantastic Four, whereby we have a bunch of astronauts going for the space and getting corrupted by alien life form. But instead of getting superpowers like the Fantastic Four, they carried a deadly seed. When you're talking about birth scene, alien pregnancy and birth scene can't get much better than Species 2. And of course, all of the Alien fans out there have seen it, and I have talked about it on my previous video. Some of you guys even recommended the Anida scene to me. When you actually watch the entire movie, the two scenes that we all watch are not the only births movie, although a lot of other births are actually happening off screen, including the end scene, which is actually the starting point of the Species 3. The only birth scene happening on the third movie is actually at the beginning of the movie, whereby we see our main characters actually gave birth to another life form. Although I don't really like this birth scene, I do find it a little bit too extreme and a little bit disgusting for my taste, but maybe some of you guys may like it. Because the fact that the birth actually happening outside the body, it kind of reminds me of one of the body horror classic, which is The Brood, if I remember correctly. The fourth movie almost has nothing to do with the characters on the first three movies. It's kind of a good end for the entire series, whereby we've seen the lab which started all these experiments getting destroyed. What do you guys think about the Species series? Would you like this particular franchise to be revived? And being a fan of Species 2 and the series in general, of course I'm hoping that they will revive the franchise in the future. Maybe we will see Seal being played by Jennifer Lawrence in the future. And of course, we won't forget about Marcy's character in Species 2. Which actress do you think will be the best person to replace Marcy's character if they decided to revive the series? And of course, I will always advise you to watch the movie from the legal resources so that you can always support the filmmakers and so that they can make more movies. So with that, thank you so much for watching and I see you next time.